Hi, my name is Erin Attwood, and you are watching The Power of Chicks, where I'm on a mission to help you, through expert stories and advice, live your healthiest, most confident life of badassery and full potential. And this token fella I have with the screen on me right now dreamt of the idea of being a writer, but wasn't actually writing. And once he discovered his key to success, he became a machine. He's now the author of at least 6 books and has become, in his own words, a joyful, proud, buoyant, well-oiled beast of unstoppable imagination, creativity, and love. And I must repeat that. Joyful, proud, buoyant, well-oiled beast of unstoppable imagination, creativity, and love. This guy has a huge heart, and he wants to share the profound knowledge that took him years to learn. So I'm thrilled that you're watching this, because this interview will have gems that will help lead you to the result of any goal that you have, as long as you apply them. So I must not keep you any longer from knowing who this man is. I have with me Mr. Bradley Charbonneau. Welcome.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here.
Yeah.
Wow. You know, I'm almost teary because that introduction you gave of me with all of those adjectives, and I know I created those adjectives, but I'm sad for the person I used to be, who would have loved to have been any single one of those.
Sure.
And now I have all of them.
Yeah.
Whereas I think I had none at some point.
Yeah.
And I've come that far. Wow. Oh, man.
Hey, I'm there with you too. And it's such a journey. And when you're in that place in your life where you couldn't in your wildest dreams imagine being where you are now, and then looking back at all the things and realizing that, like, wow, there was never really one like triumphant thing that happened. It's really just, I just started taking action in small areas, and it built up over time, which I know is your story, but I would love to have you share more about that. So can you tell us a little bit about where you were at before you began doing what you're doing today? What environment were you in?
Yeah, it's, you know, it's funny. I don't even like to think back, because it's sort of like thinking back to bad times. And so it's almost like you don't want to bring it up again, but I will delve into it because I know it's important to relate, right? It's important. I mean, I can't even relate to that person that I used to be just a few years ago. I don't even understand that guy. I mean, how did he cope? How did he exist? I mean, I'm thankful for him that he made it through, because now I'm the guy I am today. Yeah. But I look back at that poor sap and I think, man, get it together. So what I was doing up to that point.
Let's talk about that guy.
Yeah. So what I was doing at that point was, well, none of what I'm doing now. But the thing was that I was dreaming about being the person I am today. I was fantasizing. I was envisioning. I was doing everything except actually being. And for a while, unfortunately a long while, that was good enough. You know, I specifically remember being at parties or something and talking about this person that I was going to become at some point in the future. And that was okay. I guess that was working out for me, because I would talk about it, and then I'm not actually doing that, but I wouldn't get into that. I would just get into how great it's going to be, and what a great person I'm going to be, and some you know, lots of some days and future tense. Sure. And not doing it. But the joy of that was that when you don't actually do it, there's no chance of failure. That's the big secret.
Yeah.
And so I could just wallow along in my dreams, and I'm not failing because I'm actually not doing anything with the possible outcome of failure, because I'm doing nothing.
Yeah. And I know I related to that person as well. And I know that there are several people in here who are like, wow, maybe starting to realize too, like, is this me? Like, am I dreaming my dream and not taking any action, which is really the secret, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So tell us, How did it all start for you? I know a little bit about this story, and with your gift that we have, they can learn more about this story. But from your own words right now, just how did it all come about? You are a writer, a great one at that. And what led you to it? What led you to take action?
So I am very much a do-it-yourself kind of guy. I can handle it. I'll figure it out. I can learn it. I can do anything. I can accomplish it. Yay! But I wasn't getting there on my own. As strong and persistent and as great a guy I thought I wasn't actually making much progress. And so it took a colleague / friend of mine back in 2012, who apparently, looking back, was so sick of my whining of not being a writer and only talking about writing, that at that time he was doing a thing called monthly experiments, where every month he would have this experiment. It would be something like, no coffee for a month, or wake up at 5 a.m. or whatever. Just a daily experiment, a change in your life, something kind of scary for you that you weren't doing. Take it 30 days, see what happens, right? Yeah. And again, the reason he called it experiments is back to the failure thing, is that by definition, an experiment doesn't have a failure. It has success, or it has a learning element.
Yeah. It's a plan.
A whole lot better than failure, right?
It's like an acceptable failure.
Yes, perfect. That'll work out just fine. So, but back then in 2012, he wanted his challenge. And that was good, because he knew me, that I don't back down from a challenge, right? Ooh, challenge. Oh, hold on. I got to do this. And so he said, I want you to write every day for 30 days. And at that point, and I have to really dig back here, because now it's not a problem for me. But then at that point, he might as well have said, I want you to stab yourself in the eyeball every day for 30 days. That was about how scary and fun that sounded to me.
So can I stop you for just a second?
Yeah.
Because this is an important thing too, is the action that you take. This is what I'm hearing in it. So just to break it, the action that you take needs to be somewhat scary, somewhat uncomfortable. Okay, continue.
Yeah. Well, speaking of comfortable, I have a whole chapter called Comfortable, because I think comfortable is a dangerous place. Unless you're comfortable with it, right? But I often think, like, and again, no offense to, I don't know, take your favorite third world African country that's super poor, and somebody has no money, no food, no nothing. His parents are murdered. He has 8 diseases, and he's going to rise up from the depths and rise up and succeed. Mm-hmm. And I think, awesome, that's great. What a rock star. Mm-hmm. But then here in our world, where things are okay, I have enough to eat, I'm getting by, I'm kind of making it. I think that can be, and again, I'm trying not to make this, comparison of me versus some, you get it, right? So, but still, for us in our world, we can be stuck in this level of comfortable that can be like quicksand. Yeah. And so that's where I was. 2012, I was comfortable. I wasn't, totally depressed. If I look back, I think I was way depressed. But 30 days, he says, go for it. I say, like, hesitantly, okay, I guess I have to. But this was going to open me up for failure, right? Because now I'm actually going to act. And now there's a chance for failure. If I don't do it, then I fail. And then the even scarier part was, well, wait a minute, this is my big dream to be a writer. If I can't write for 30 days, then I have to give up that dream and, I don't know, go to plan B or something. But I didn't have a plan B. So I was like, this is it. And so it was super scary. And lo and behold, after 15, 17 days, I'm like kind of, oh, I'm doing this. Uh-huh. I think I'm going to make it to 30. And then at 30 days, as he well knows through his experience, 30 days, you get to a point where you say, well, wait a minute. You're like, that wasn't so hard.
Yeah.
What was my problem? For years of not doing it. Yeah. 30 days, and I'm doing it. So then at 30 days, I said, well, I can just keep going. Why not, right? I've done it for 30 days. I'm going to go. So I went to 100. I went to 500. I went to 1,000. And today, I'm at 2,303.
I love that you know the exact number. That's amazing. And that's also incredible. And people will hear that and be like, oh, I could never do that. Oh, that's too hard.
Yeah.
Because they see the big picture. They see the whole thing, right? They see the big staircase. So
Yeah.
Seeing too in relation with my own self and you is you get to this point where you're comfortable, but it's still not comfortable because you're not happy. So you're not. Right? It's kind of an oxymoron, right?
Yeah, or fake comfortable or pseudo comfortable.
Yeah, totally. And so I think that comfort is not enough discomfort to get us to take action.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. That's great.
And that's the reason you brought up the African thing, right? Like you are in so much discomfort, you must, like you don't have a choice. You have to go, right?
Right. Right.
And then, so we have to take that action that gets us outside of our comfortable zone.
Yeah.
And then you start to believe in yourself, right? Yes. Wow, I'm doing it. Amazing. Yeah. And then you go from believing in yourself to having confidence that you can do more than just that. And then you go from that to like living your dream, and then from living your dream to thriving.
Yeah. Yeah. You got it down. That is it.
But people look at the thriving part and they're like, I can't do that.
Yeah, right. Because you and I can clearly, you clearly see it so clearly in front of you right now, which is fantastic. But if I think back to that poor guy again, I think, oh, you're talking big words there. You're talking believe in yourself. You're talking confidence, thriving. Slow down there. Slow down.
Yeah, it's scary.
It's hard to get there. But that's where, and if I hear I'm talking about 2,000 plus days, which sounds like an eternity, right? Forget that, forget me. And there's always don't compare yourself of today with the someone else of the, however many days in the future. Mm-hmm. Compare yourself to me on day one. I was scared, I was hesitant, I didn't want to do it. I would rather just climb back into my hole and hide away from the world. Yeah. But I had that accountability, I had someone challenging me, and I did want to live my dream.
Yeah.
And if I can add one large thing, so that was, I see them as daily steps, little tiny things every day for 30 days. But then a couple of years down the road, my father passed away. And so still you'd think 30 days, and what was that? 2.5, 3 years later, what's that? That's I'm around 1,000 probably, right? You'd think I'm skyrocketing into the atmosphere and everything's going fantastic. And yes, it was relatively, but I still needed, well, I don't even want to say I needed, but it happened that way. My father passed away and I said, wait a minute. Oh man, we're mortal. Oh no. Wait, this isn't part of the deal. I thought I could live this life in my next future life.
Yeah.
But no. So that was a big shocker. And then I took it again to the next level. But I could not have taken it to the next level had I not had the foundation of the daily habit to build the exact things you were talking about, the believing and the confidence and the thriving.
Yeah.
So you have to build that foundation. And then if you get a big jolt, you have then the tools to deal with it and ideally turn it into even something bigger.
Right. And it's funny. I even I do Instagram stories every day on my Instagram, just with whatever inspiration. And yesterday I actually did one that was I have a really cool jacket that is total 80s. And I never wear it. And I realized yesterday I never wear it because I'm afraid to ruin it. And I was thinking that totally that's not you just do it. You love it, just do it. And sometimes basically the message is all things, even good, come to an end.
Yeah.
At some point. And so what better time than literally right now? And that's so cliche. Oh, there's no better time than now. But there's a reason that phrase exists.
Yeah. No, there's one better time than now. It's yeah.
Amazing. I love it.
Since that's not an option, it's the second best.
Right. I love it. I love the way you think. So have there been any other 30-day challenges that you've taken yourself through since that first one?
Oh, wow. Yeah, I did. Have you ever heard of NaNoWriMo? Which is National Novel Writing Month.
National Novel Writing Month.
And it's every November. And the idea is to write a 50,000 word novel in a month.
I don't even know what that means. I don't know if I could count to 50,000.
Right.
I don't know fingers.
Well, see, so I use very many, especially like exercise or fitness analogies with my writing. And so to do NaNoWriMo, to write all that every day for a month, well, and I'm thinking, well, I'm writing every day anyway.
Yeah.
So I can just write a little more. I mean, just like if you're preparing for your 10K run, and you think, oh, well, there's a marathon. Well, I'm already in shape for my 10K run. I just got to ramp it up a little bit and prepare for that November marathon. And it's the same thing. But if you're not doing anything, if you're not in any shape, well, then forget the 10K, not much less the marathon. But you're not going to get anywhere if you don't start. And you got to start with my walking. Walk around the block. Walk a mile. Do anything. Get put on. I have an article I wrote embarrassingly so many years ago called "Just Put on the Shoes."
Did you send that to me?
I probably did. Yeah.
I think you sent that to me. Yeah.
It's one of my favorites because it's brutal. It's, you want to get in shape. Are your shoes on? Are you thinking about working out or dreaming about working out or planning on potentially working out next Tuesday? Just put on the shoes.
Do you know, I don't know if you know who Derek Depker is. He's one of the guys that we also had on here. His thing is, can I just, right? Can I just put on my shoes? Can I just drink this glass of water? Like something that will just get you to take action towards something.
Yeah. That's it.
So what, were there days where you really just didn't feel like doing what you said you were going to do?
Oh yeah.
Okay. And what were like, give us like 2 or 3 of the tools that you used to get through those days where you're like, I just don't feel like it. Because I know with health, with fitness, with, wellness, and the topic of this whole summit is, reaching your full potential, feeling confident, and all of that. What are some of the tools that you use that maybe we can relate to fitness and health and wellness that got you to do what you didn't feel like doing? Because I know that happens all the time.
Yeah, sure. So the easiest is to do it anyway. And I know that sounds really simple, but see, I have a daily deadline. I have to write every single day. I have, no matter what, no excuses. I mean, I've been hungover, I've been jet lagged, I've been in different time zones. It doesn't matter. I have no excuse whatsoever. I've been in airports. I've been in one place. I was in some podunk town. I was on the Wi-Fi from the grocery store across the street because I had to get my thing done, right? So when there's no excuses, then there's no decision-making process going on in your head. You're not deciding, you're not spending any brain power on, do I have to do this or not? No, that's not the question. The question is, how in the world am I going to find the Wi-Fi to make this thing happen? Yes. And so your thinking is different, is on the days you don't feel like it, basically you suck it up and say, I don't care if I don't feel like it, I'm doing it anyway. And so just get it over with. If it's if it's a crappy day, get it over with, get it out of your system. But there is no. There is no, I'm not doing it today. That's not an option. So get it done, force it through, be over with it. Also, it helps to, if you know your body a little better, like if you know your heights and your low points of a typical day. So I am such a morning person. For me, it is first thing in the morning, eyes open, meditation for half an hour, and then a writing. Okay. And if I don't do that, my day is a little out of whack. And if I miss my meditation and or my writing in the morning, well, the writing, I know I'm going to have to do it. But you know what? I can pretty much, like there's like an inverse graph, right? Like the later in the day I go, the worse my writing is going to be.
Yeah.
And so the longer I wait, the more painful it is for me personally, because I'm also agonizing about it. I'm like, oh, I gotta write today and I don't feel like it. Or, oh, I've got to work out today and I'm getting tired and I'm getting late and there's a party later. And that means, oh, now I'm going to have 3 cocktails in me and got to do my workout. But I'm going to do it anyway, but it's going to be terrible.
It might be more fun though. After 3 cups.
It's gonna be fun.
I'm not saying it's true.
And could be all new kinds of insights. You never know. But if you're doing it daily, you're changing the question. You're changing the challenge. It's not, do I feel like it? It's, how am I going to get this done as quickly as possible and in the least pain, because I know I got to do it. That's not an option anymore. So let's get it over with and make it done.
Yep.
But, so deadline is key.
Yeah. So as the king of taking big, scary, monstrous concepts and breaking them down into very easy to understand, and you say, just suck it up and do it. And I know a lot of people will hear that. I get you. I know a lot of people will hear it like from the place that both of us were in years ago, right? Where we're like, well, I've tried that. Like, clearly my feelings win. What do you think in your head as far as when you do that, what happens?
Okay. So Ernest Hemingway said, you need to write 95 pages of crap to get 5 good pages.
Okay.
So when you do the math there, he did not say, skip the 95 pages of crap and only write the 5 good pages, right?
Yeah.
So if you're thinking, I don't feel like it, I've got a crappy day, here's my challenge. For me, writing, I'll just do a writing example. I want you to go write for 15 minutes and write the stupidest, silliest, dumbest, lowbrow, idiotic story you could imagine. I want grammar mistakes. I want spelling. I want you to scribble. I want it to be terrible. Because remember, you need to get those 95 pages of crap done to get the 5 pages of good stuff. And you know what often happens is when you get started, okay, fine, I've got to write the crap. This is terrible. This sucks. And you know what's going to happen is your mind is going to switch. And because you sat down to write your crap, I mean, you might get through a bit of crap, but your mind is going to switch because it wants to do good.
Yeah.
And you want to get fit. Your body wants to get fit. So you just need to turn that on and even just force out the crap, and the good stuff will come. Or you know what? Even if the good stuff doesn't come, that's fine. Just then write the crap. You got to get the crap anyway, right?
The good stuff will come. Is what you're saying, right? Like, we're wired to do good. We're wired to help. We're wired to succeed, but there's something in us that fights us all the time.
Yeah.
And so to relate it even to fitness or wellness is like, well, if you need to write 95 pages of crap before you fill in the blank. Right. If you need to, let's say, meal prep, you don't know how. Okay. Right? Because you want to set yourself up for success. You've heard meal prepping is the thing to do, but you don't know what to make, right? You don't know. I heard chicken breast is good, and you start making chicken. Who cares? Like, just make something, because your human instinct, your intuition will kick in, and instinctively we know right from wrong. We can feel it, and so. Just so to relate even your message into the health and wellness space, or like, I don't know how to work out. Just go pick something up and start moving it around. You'll see somebody, or somebody will give you a tip or something, but the immediate is to just do something.
Yeah. And also to keep it on the fitness track. So I'm a coach of under 14 basketball.
I love it.
And my son's on the team. And so I want the kids to practice what it's like to miss a shot. Because if they miss a shot, you actually learn more when you fail. You learn more when you miss the shot, because then you're going to concentrate and work on, okay, was my hand not in the right place, or was my elbow wrong? I missed, because if you make it, you think, oh, well, I'm good at this, so don't need to practice anymore. Yeah. But if you miss or do it poorly or incorrectly, then you're going to learn. Yeah. So go ahead with your fitness, with your whatever you're doing. Do it wrong, totally fail, and then but then you need to learn. You need to pay attention and learn what you're going to do to improve it the next time.
Yeah, I love to say failure is not an end-all be-all. It's an opportunity to be better.
Yeah.
So good. So what is we've talked so much about small steps that people can take. Can you just get your shoes on, write the crap? What is something that you would say in your own life, even maybe because in order to keep up with what you're doing, you have to stay sharp, right?
Yeah.
You've got to stay healthy. You've got to keep your mind healthy. So you're still in that world. What is one thing that you do each day just to keep yourself sharp and continue being healthy? That isn't
Mm-hmm.
overwhelming. It's not hard to do. It's not scary, but it's action.
Yeah. So again, with the sort of daily understanding of your own self, and I know that I'm such a morning person. So in the morning person, I'm creative, and in the morning, it's all about output. I want to create. I want to make. I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And so then in afternoon, it's time to fill the tank,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you can't. I mean, I'm such an output create guy. I could almost just create all day. Whereas I think for most people, it's the opposite, right? Most people consume and take in and learn and watch and listen and read and hear what people are doing. And that's super important, but you need to put that to use, right? So you want to have a balance of the output and the input. And wherever you are, just try to find a balance. For me, I'm actually too much output. I create like a madman, whereas I need to make sure I fill the tank. I read the books. I follow people who are more successful than I am in many fields, and I see what they do. I learn how they do it, and I try to emulate it in my own way through my own creating. So it's just like a car. You're not going to fill the gas tank and never drive anywhere.
Right.
Or a body. You're not going to just keep eating and drinking and never move. Right. Or never, how we say, let it out, let it go. There's got to be that balance of intake and output.
Yeah.
And to find that balance is important.
I mean, and you'll notice, so, anybody watching this right now might even start recognizing areas in their life where they're like, there's content creators and there's content consumers.
Yeah.
And what I always thought to myself, I used to work with, when I worked for corporate, I would work with people who would just read books and books and books and books, listen to them on like fast forward, not even at regular speed. Like they want to get through it so quick. And then I see those people years later in the same exact position they were in, realizing that it doesn't make any sense to read a book or consume any kind of information, whatever fitness guru you're following, who does all the cool stuff. Makes no sense to learn from them and not apply.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Application and action are one and the same. So I guess my challenge would be for anybody watching is what did you scroll through on Instagram? Because I know you're there and your thumb's getting raw, so it's time to actually like go work out or something. What did you see that you were inspired by? And now go do it. Go take the instruction and be inspired and motivated to take action on it.
Yeah. I like to think that when you're a little kid and you get in your first bicycle, there's no instruction manual the kid's got to read that says, here's how to ride the bike. It's get on. Somebody's holding the seat for a little bit, and at some point you don't notice they let go, and you're doing it, and then you crash, and you figure out balance and gravity, and then next time you're better. But you can't read a book on how to ride a bike. I could write 4 books on what an avocado tastes like, but you could just have a single bite, and that's your application. That's your understanding, your own personal experience of what it is, and then you're going to say, "Oh, is that what they were talking about? I didn't need to read that book. I just needed to take a bite of the avocado."
That's super powerful. To reiterate too, like as much as you can take in, if you just apply it, you will learn for yourself, right? The kid falls over and then realizes, oh, well, that wasn't actually that bad. Like I wanted mom or dad to hold on because I was afraid. I was afraid to fall. I was afraid to fail. So I needed that support. So I think that's another good message in this too, is having the support of somebody, a mentor, a coach, whatever. And as an adult, sometimes paying for that support is the thing that you need to be afraid of, that you have to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And then once they let go, you're like, oh, holy shit, I can do it by myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
well, in fact, I'm a total terrible example of doing way too much myself. I did it for years because I'm the I can do it guy, do it yourself. I can figure that out. I mean, but of course I can figure it out. But it's going to take me longer. I'm probably not going to do as good of a job. Whereas if I have some expert, somebody, yep, I got to pay them, but that value that I get from whatever it is that I'm paying them, whether it's time or money or exchange or whatever it is, that should come back to me multiple fold in the jump that I'm going to make.
Yep. It's an investment.
It is.
Yeah.
And it should come back multifold. It's usually not just one-to-one. And that's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
But that's a hard investment to think when you're there, when you're stuck at the bottom, you think, but that money or time, I don't have that.
Right. It's because you don't yet have the belief in yourself, I think. You haven't done it yet, so you don't know you can do it.
Yeah.
Or you've failed many times and you don't know a different way.
Yeah.
Awesome. Hey, so if you guys don't know, Mr. Bradley is in the Netherlands, which is why he's in such a dark space right now.
I was just noticing that. Hold on.
As it's 8:20 my time, he's disappearing into the darkness. What time is it there, brother?
It is, wait there, look.
Look at you. You're back. You look bald even.
I was noticing.
Your hair just disappeared into the darkness.
I was noticing I'm fading. I'm fading away.
You're like, I gotta get closer so they can see.
So the light of the screen will keep me alive.
That's amazing. Hey, so the gift we talked a tiny bit about. Bradley, like I said, has a huge heart, and he has put his book Every Single Day in podcast form, which I will attach the link so that you guys can have access to that. Man, it's money. I have to tell you, like every single word that he's saying, I'm like, preach, preach, preach. So it is a life-changing book. It's a life-changing message. Is there anything else that you would like to say to the viewers before we close it up and I ask my one last fun question?
I have, I created, in addition to the Every Single Day as a podcast gift, I created a couple little items on the side. I sort of see it like those like holiday baskets full of all kinds of goodies. Yes. That's sort of how I see it. And I like, whereas Every Single Day is a full-length book and you can listen to the whole thing. I wanted little goodies. And so I've created a couple little goodies that I'll throw in there. For example, 6 what I call secret side effects of becoming a creator.
Okay.
Rather than a consumer. And so I'll get that in there too.
Yes, I love it. Cool. Awesome. So my last fun question that I have.
Yes.
In a different language other than English, what is your favorite word to say? Or just maybe the first one that comes to mind. And what does it mean in English?
Okay, this is easy. The word is gezellig.
Gezellig.
Yeah, that was it. Excellent.
Gezellig.
And it's Dutch. I live in Holland.
Uh-huh.
And the Dutch like to say that there's no translation. Oh, it's such a fantastic word. We can't even translate it. Just don't even bother. But if you need one little word, it's cozy. But okay. The Dutch, of course, say that there's so much more meaning behind it. Oh, that little cozy word that doesn't got it. But it is. It's a whole feeling. I mean, there's books written about just this word, how it's this whole feeling, this whole movement, this whole let's be cozy in the winter evening with hot chocolate and the warm lights and being together in the living room, and I don't know. So,
is there a way you can put it into context in an English sentence?
The Christmas market outdoors with the frost on the pine trees and the hot glühwein mug in my hand together with a friend I haven't seen for 4 years. Oh, it was just so gezellig.
Ah, there you go. That's the best way. Awesome. Bradley, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for being here.
It has been a pleasure. Thank you for having me. It's been a joy and a good laugh.
Awesome. We'll connect again.
Okay, great.
We'll see you later.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.